welcome to another episode of Baking Experience with Ikeolu Biobako on the Mix and Bake YouTube channel. Today we'll be making the most amazing, fantastic, awesome donut. Okay, the most amazing donut. So on the table we have our ingredients that we'll be using. Remember, the full ingredients, the list and the technique will be on the Mix and Bake website. Okay, so here on the table we have sugar. The quantities will be on the Mix and Bake website. We have butter or margarine. We have egg, salt, yeast, flour. We have flour. We have water. Okay, so I'll do it one more time. We have sugar, granulated sugar, margarine or butter, egg, salt, yeast, and flour. Then, of course, you have water. Then you have greaseproof paper or baking paper. You'll be seeing what we need that for later. We need our pots for frying donuts. Okay, then we need our mixer for mixing the donuts. So the next thing we'll be doing now is we'll be moving over to our mixer to mix the dough. All right. Okay, we are here to start mixing. So you'll be using the dough hook, not the beater or the whisk or anything, the dough hook. So the first thing, in goes our flour. Okay, so our flour, we just add everything: sugar, yeast, your salt. So you add like half of your margarine, half of this margarine, like 25 grams. You don't add everything at once. Okay. Your egg, slightly beaten. So beaten egg. Then some of the water. So I'm going to just give it a good mix. Until it's elastic. So I'll do this for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I add my margarine. Then I do for another 10 minutes. And another 5 minutes. So total mixing should be about 25 to 30 minutes. And then I will bring out of my mixer for the next step. So at this point, we are done. Can you see how elastic it is? Very elastic. Okay. So we'll be moving over to our table now, where we'll be doing the rest of the technique. All right. So remember to mix until it's elastic. Until it's elastic. Can you see how elastic it is? Okay, back to our table. So we have so what we're going to do, we're going to some flour on the table, and I'm going to take this out onto my board. Okay. So, some more flour on the table. So, I'm going to weigh this and divide it into 2. Okay. So, I'm going to scale this to 0. Okay. Can you see? It's 0 gram. Then weigh my dough. So this gives me 1063. So I'm going to divide this into 2 because I want to make 2 types of donuts, ring donuts. So I'm making the ring donuts and the filled donuts. All right. So I'm going to divide this into two equal parts. So half of it will be about 531. Okay, let's assume is 1060. Okay, so I'm going to divide this into 2. So let me take some out. So I'm looking for about 560. Sorry, 530. About 531 is what I'm looking for. About 530. That's too much. About 530. Or 531 actually. I just added very little, so how come? Okay, that's fine. About 532 is fine. So I have, so let me just see what the other one weighs. Okay, that's fine. One is about 532 and one is about 531, so that's fine. So I'm going to use half for my ring donuts and half for my filled donuts. All right. So another thing I need is wax paper or greaseproof paper, you know, because this is where I'm going to be rolling out my dough, placing it to rise. All right. So I need them cut into squares. Can you see? I need them cut into squares. So I'm going to be starting with my ring donuts. All right. So I need my rolling pin. I also need cutters. I need a round cutter and a center one. Okay. So you allow your dough after mixing. You allow it to rest for just about 5 minutes. Just give it a good knead. Just knead it. Then roll it out on your flour board to about 1 inch in size. Okay. So I've rolled it about half an inch. Then I'll be cutting and placing on. So I make sure there's a flour on each one. So I cut, then I cut the center. So I'm just going to be doing this, then place on my, can you see this? I'll place on, I'm going to be placing it on my paper to rise, okay? So I'll leave it on the tray. Then each one goes on the tray. For the filled donuts, we're going to be weighing each one. So each dough we need between 50 to 60 grams. So let me see, let me weigh this. So this is about 533. So if I wanted to do 60 gram for each one, 533 divided by 60 will be how many I'm going to do. So I'm going to check that now. So I'm going to be doing about 60 gram, 60 to 70 gram for each one. Okay, so let me do 70 gram. Okay, so this is okay, about 69. So I'm going to be doing this continuously till I get, I think I should be able to get like 7 or so. 7 dough. Let me take some flour here. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this till I get the total quantity I want. So the next thing we're going to do is to grab our dough. I'm going to be using my bare hands because I'm going to find that easier to do. Rolling into what I want to do, okay? So basically, this is what I'm going to be doing. So you need your tray with your baking paper or parchment paper or greaseproof paper or wax paper or whatever, cut into squares with some flour on it, okay? So I grab in the palm of my hand with some flour. I try to make it as neat as possible. Then, can you see the movement of my hand? Very important. So I do this to all, then I roll, making sure it's well-rounded. If it's not well-rounded, keep making it round. Making sure it's well-rounded. Then in the palm of my hand, I roll it. Okay. So I roll it as round as possible. Okay. And I place on my okay, so this is what I'm going to be doing. So I grab another one, make sure I mold it. So you first of all start by molding properly. So after that, you now keep rolling. Make sure you have enough flour in the palm of your hand. So you know, can you see? I make sure the base is well rolled. Then I roll. You know, I check the base to be sure it's okay. Then I roll it, making sure, you know, I'm rolling it very round. So this is what I do till I get to the end. So I'm going to do one more for you to see. I'm going to do one more for you to see. So I take just the dough I've divided into 60 to 70 gram. Now make sure you do not use more than maximum 80 gram, or else when you eventually want to fry it, it will be too it will be difficult for it to be done inside. You have a raw inside. So I advise 50, 60, 70 grams. So here I have between 50 to 70 grams. So I roll it in the palm of my hand, making sure I make it well rounded. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, so I continue. My back is not smooth yet, so I continue with that, making sure I have a smooth back. So I'm invariably trying to, you see, trying to make it smooth at the back. Okay, so roll it, make sure you have it well smooth. Okay, so you place it on your sheet and I'll continue with the rest. So the last one, I do the same thing. So after 40 to 50 minutes, you can see this has practically doubled in size. Can you see that? It has practically doubled. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to fry. So we have our oil on fire. Okay, so to make sure we heat it up for a while to become hot, we will use one of the ring donuts centers to test if it's okay to start frying. Okay, so then we need a skewer or cocktail stick to check it. So you can see the oil is not hot enough, so we're just going to wait till it's hot. It's hotter than this. Then make sure you have a colander or basket with a kitchen towel inside to drain the oil. Okay, so we'll just wait for the oil to heat up and we start frying. So we have those centers that we had put in earlier on. We have them turning brown in bits. So I'm just going to take it out and add another one. So when frying your donut, I'm just going to put it in with a paper and I will try to get it out when, okay. So I'm just going to put it in with a paper and get it out and get the paper out in a tactical way. Can you see the way I'm getting the paper out? So I turn it around. That ring in the center of the donut. Okay, now, can you see that lovely ring in the center? Can you see that? Beautiful, isn't it? Okay. We must make sure we maintain that ring. Can you see? Okay. So I'm going to continue with the same way. In it goes. In it goes. In it goes. So look at the... So after a while, I'll just move this over to a plate just to make sure it doesn't get all Remember the ring? We haven't fried the ring. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this over. Okay, for my ring donuts, so be very careful so you don't hurt yourself. So once you try to take out the base and it doesn't come out, just make sure you don't force it. Okay? By the time you turn it to the heat, it will come out. So never force it, alright? So always remember that if you're trying to take out the paper and it doesn't come out, once you turn it over to the heat, it will come out. So the next thing will be to fill our donuts, okay? So, like I said, you can use any filling of your choice. Over to filling our donut. Once it's cool, so you leave it for some time to cool, then we start filling. You can also sugar coat it, so I'm going to be doing that next. Okay, so I'm going to start by just dipping my ring donut in sugar. So this is what I'm just going to do. So I'm just going to shake it all up in sugar. I think I'm going to get a bigger Ziploc. So you can basically do this for the donuts. Can you see that? Lovely, isn't it? So I'll arrange my donuts, my sugar donuts back into position. So now it's not compulsory, you don't have to do this. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. Can you see that? So I've sugar coated it all. So I'm going to be filling. So I'll just put some of my filled donuts too. Some of the ones I'm going to be filling. Okay. So I'm just going to turn this the other way and do the same thing here. Lovely. So after placing sugar on them, I'm also going to be filling it. This is so lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, like I said, you can just have your donuts like that if you wish. If you don't wish to place them in sugar. Let's see if it can take one small one. Yeah, lovely. Can you see that? Let me see if I can just push one in here. So I'm just going to push that in here, and voila, we have our donuts. Okay, so I'm going to be filling now. I'm going to be filling my donuts now. So just watch the next thing I'm going to do after sugar coating. Now I have some fillings I'm going to be showing you soon. Okay, so I have fillings here. Like I said, it doesn't have to be the fillings I'm using, okay? In another class, I'm going to be teaching you different fillings. So I have my lemon curd filling, I have my milk filling, and I have my raspberry filling. It can be any berry, strawberry, blueberry, you know, but here I have raspberry. So I'm just going to, you can also have chocolate filling, okay? So I'm just going to take my, the round ball donuts, not the ring one. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll just push it in and push out, okay? So can you see that? Interesting. So I'm just going to push this in. Let me come to this corner. So I'm just going to push this in. Can you see? And apply pressure and push out. Can you see? So I also have my milk filling. Can you see that? So I push in and press down. So my raspberry, I push in. Okay, so let me use my, for this one. Okay, so another one. So I have lemon curd, milk. Okay, so let me see, should I add to this one? Maybe I add a berry. Let me create a hole in and add some berry filling. And milk filling on my last one. Awesome, isn't it? Beautiful. So I have some fillings, milk, raspberry, lemon curd. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just going to enjoy this. So I want you to do yours. Before that, let me just spin it around for you to see. Look at this beauty. I'm just going to spin it around for you to see. Lovely, isn't it? Oh, so lovely. Lovely and delicious. Lovely and delicious. Okay, so you will get the recipe from www.mixandbakeschool.com. www.mixandbakeschool.com. The recipe is there. So log on to the Mix and Bake School to get the recipe. All technique will be on the YouTube channel. All right. Lovely, lovely, lovely assembly of donuts, filled donuts and ring donuts. All right.